This is the rundown with Rubio for Friday, February 7th, 2025. Everything happens for a reason. El Trumpo is still signing executive orders like it's going out of style. And the latest one he said he's going to do next week is banning paper straws. Thank God. Those are terrible. It's like drinking soda out of a toilet paper roll. Anyone that thought those were a good idea was just a moron. No, you're not saving the environment. No one likes them. They're terrible. They only last for like 30 seconds. And you know what, everyone, let's just applaud El Trumpo on this one. There are winners and losers in life. So a new Georgetown University study shows that Oregon, which is completely Democrat, I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about this one, has increased spending on state education by 80% in the last decade. That's great. So every student now is basically cost $17,000 per student a year. It's great, wonderful. The problem is all students' reading and math proficiency continue to decline dramatically. So they've increased it 80% in the last decade, but everyone's scores in reading and math keep going down. What are you doing with the money? Like, what's happening? What's going on in the schools? Remember, Oregon is the place too where you literally cannot fail. Like they're saying you can't, even if you don't do any work, you're not failing. It's been documented several times. So they might want to refigure some things out over there. Accept and embrace. This one's wild. Okay, so Cynthia Nixon, she's the redhead from the TV show and movie Sex and the City. She goes on a tirade against El Trumpo's executive order targeting child mutilation because El Trumpo said you can't, no one under 19 can have any body parts cut off. If you're a guy and you think you're a girl, or a girl you think you're a guy, you got to wait till at least 19, which, okay, common sense because you can't get a tattoo before 18. Sometimes you can if 16 if your parents agree to it. She goes on a tirade out in New York City saying, quote, her daughter is trans. Her niece is also trans, her best friend's child is trans, and her daughter's best friend is trans. Do you know what the odds of having that much trans in your life? Like literally almost impossible. The odds of having a trans child, I think, are like 0.04 or something like that. And so you're telling me that you have one, your sister or brother also has one, you have another friend that has one, and then that your daughter's best friend is trans as well. Like you were either going out and seeking them in, like you're putting out flyers, hey, looking for trans friends, looking for trans relatives, or you're living in a bubble. There's just no way this is scientifically possible. Working hard is not enough. Colombian President Gustavo Petro, he came out and he said, hey, cocaine's no worse than whiskey. Cocaine's great. It's no worse than having a sip of whiskey at night, blah, blah, blah. The only reason why whiskey's illegal, it's because it's from Latin America. That's the only reason. Side note, cocaine is obviously Colombia's #1 export. So yeah, maybe he thinks this for a reason. Confidence is the key. So you know how all Doge and Elon are going after USAID and figuring out all this money, billions and billions and billions of dollars have been going just to the dumbest things possible. And they're just cutting. We've been talking about it for basically a week on the show. Well, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, just said out of the 14,000 USAID employees, only 294 are keeping a job. Because the other, let's say 13,700 or whatever, yeah, you don't need to be doing anything because you haven't been doing anything. You've just been basically laundering money for about the last decade, and we just figured it out. So yeah, out of 14,000, only 294 employees are keeping their job. Too bad. So sad. You should have been doing the exact job that you were required to do and not basically laundering money all over the world. If you have any questions, you can email Rubio at therubiomethod.com. Have a great weekend.
Let's get going, gang!
Our dedicated staff is ready to work for you. ArcBeat specializes in custom apparel. Call us or order online. Free shipping nationwide. Custom printed shirts are our specialty, and we make sure you get exactly what you want. Bring in your own design or let our team create one for you. Promote your business, event, or club with pens, caps, bottles, mugs, and more.
Creating cool since 1985.